Hello, my name is Bill Floyd. This is the first episode of Labor Union TV. We're going to be introducing and interviewing 5 international union presidents that supported Senator Bernie Sanders for president. And the first union we're going to interview is Chris Shelton. He's the president of the Communication Workers of America, CWA. And they represent all the phone workers who install your phones and take care of all those telephone poles and everything all across the country. And they also represent airlines, a couple of airline workers, and they also represent the television workers in NABET. The first question I asked them was, and there's 700,000 members of that union, my first question was, with all those different sections, how can he focus all that energy into one direction?
You know, I've been very busy with not only all that bargaining, but in the election and what's been leading up to the election. As you know, I think CWA initially supported Bernie Sanders because that's what our members voted to do. And we vowed when we got into this that we would do what our members wanted us to do. So we held a poll of our membership, and the members came out and said Bernie Sanders. So we went out and supported Bernie Sanders. Well, Bernie Sanders didn't become the ultimate nominee. So we are now have endorsed and are supporting 100% Hillary Clinton in the election. So I've been somewhat busy doing things surrounding that also. But, you know, the Verizon strike, the contract at United, you name it, there's been crisis after crisis in our union, and you know, I've been trying to make sure that those crises came out our way.
How did you ever achieve such a great contract with Verizon, with it being such a monopoly and such a powerful contributor to the, you know, really towards the Chamber of Commerce and ALEC and everything else? Verizon is one of the strongest and most powerful corporations in America.
Rather than what this company wanted to do, what Verizon wanted to do. And this was a company that was making $1.5 billion a month, and we took full advantage of that. We did, you know, we had picket lines in front of the Verizon wireless stores, and because there's been so little strike activity in the United States, members of the public were actually coming up to us and asking us what was going on. They didn't realize, they didn't understand what a strike really was. So we had information officers at every one of those picket lines to explain to the public exactly what was going on, and it worked. It worked fantastically. The public boycotted Verizon wireless stores. The newspapers and media were absolutely, without any doubt, on our side, and you know, that's fairly unusual in this day and age. And we think that we hit a nerve because Verizon was so rich and so profitable that people were out against income inequality. And we had 2 presidential candidates come out to our picket lines. We had 1 presidential candidate mentioning the Verizon strike at a presidential debate. And it was, all of this was unprecedented, and it worked.
President Shelton, what are the most critical issues coming up in the next year for your union, the CWA?
Well, as you know, and as everybody in the United States knows, and probably everybody in the world just about knows, this is the most contentious election that's ever occurred in the United States of America, and probably in the world, at least because one of the candidates, in our estimation, and probably a lot of other people's estimation, is doing things that have never been done before and getting away with things, I might add, that have never been gotten away with before. So CWA members are out doing every single thing that we've ever done in any election before this, plus we are out every single day doing phone banks, knocking on doors, making sure our members are educated about why Hillary Clinton should be the next president and not Donald Trump. And the main reason is that if Donald Trump becomes the next president, we believe that unions will be destroyed in this country because we believe that's what he and his party wants.
The next question for President Shelton is, how will the unions together, be able to stop the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is Obama is trying to push through the lame duck Congress.
Because we think it is the worst trade deal that's ever been negotiated in the United States of America. Even worse than some of the other trade deals that have completely devastated lots of jobs in our country. And we think this one will be even worse. And we are making sure that the Democratic Party stays behind Hillary Clinton when it comes to TPP. We are also, by the way, taking advantage of the fact that Trump is out against the TPP also. We believe he's lying because if you look, he makes all of his junk in countries other than the United States and then says that the TPP is a bad deal. Well, we don't believe that he believes it's a bad deal, but we're going to use what he says against him or for him and try to convince Republicans based on their nominee that they should be against the TPP also. And we're being successful there. We're being successful with the Democrats. And, you know, we think that we'll be able to defeat TPP and the lame duck also, even though the current president, President Obama, believes that it's part of his legacy and that it's a great idea. We think that he's just misguided on this.
For the last question, what is the next step in the labor movement that has grown out of the Bernie Sanders campaign?
Well, there is something called Our Revolution that has come out of the Bernie Sanders campaign for president. It is supported by not only CWA, but other unions and lots of grassroots folks that supported Bernie Sanders for president. What it is a movement to make sure that this country has a way to move forward, and we are going to use it, and we are going to use all the power that it represents to try to make sure that the Clinton administration does exactly what she says she is going to do, and to try to follow a much more progressive agenda in this country than is currently being followed. And we think that things like free college and things like that are absolutely necessary. We think that our revolution can accomplish those things because we had millions and millions of people who were supporting Bernie Sanders who are now ready to push the Clinton administration to do what Bernie Sanders said he was going to do if elected president.